Why people disappear from your life. There is a strange experience that almost everyone faces at some point in life. Someone who once played an important role in your daily life suddenly disappears. At first, the change is subtle. Messages become shorter. Replies take longer. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel distant. Eventually, the communication stops altogether. No argument, no dramatic goodbye, just silence. And that silence raises a question that many people struggle to answer. Why do people disappear from our lives without explanation? Did something go wrong? Did we say something wrong? Or did they simply stop caring? For many people, the lack of explanation is the most painful part. When someone leaves with clear words, even if those words are difficult, at least the mind can understand what happened. But when someone disappears quietly, the brain begins searching for answers. It replays conversations. It analyzes memories. It looks for hidden meanings that may explain the disappearance. This process can continue for weeks, months, or even years, because the human mind dislikes unresolved endings. Psychologists call this phenomenon ambiguous loss. Ambiguous loss happens when someone disappears from your life emotionally, but not necessarily physically. They may still exist somewhere in the world, but their connection with you has vanished, without explanation, without closure. And this creates a kind of emotional uncertainty that the brain finds difficult to process. To understand why this happens, we must first understand something important about human relationships. Most relationships do not end suddenly. They fade gradually. Long before someone disappears, small psychological shifts often begin taking place. Interest changes, priorities change, life circumstances change. But because these changes are subtle, they are rarely discussed openly. Instead, distance slowly replaces closeness. Communication becomes less frequent, emotional investment decreases, and eventually, the connection that once felt strong begins to dissolve quietly. The truth is that many people do not disappear because of one dramatic event. They disappear because the relationship slowly stopped fitting their lives. Sometimes this change happens because people grow in different directions. The person you once connected with may no longer share the same interests, values, or goals. This does not necessarily mean the relationship was meaningless. It simply means that the circumstances that once brought you together have changed. But there is another psychological reason people disappear: avoidance. Many individuals find confrontation extremely uncomfortable. Ending a relationship directly can feel emotionally difficult. It requires explaining feelings, facing reactions, and possibly causing pain. Because of this discomfort, some people choose a different path. Instead of confronting the situation, they slowly withdraw. They respond less often. They create distance. They allow the connection to fade naturally. From their perspective, this may feel easier than a direct conversation. But for the person left behind, the silence can feel confusing and painful. Because without explanation, the mind fills the gap with assumptions. And those assumptions are often negative. People begin blaming themselves. They wonder what they did wrong. They question their value. But in many cases, the disappearance has little to do with a single mistake. It is simply the result of emotional distance that was never discussed openly. Before we continue, take a moment to think about the people who have quietly disappeared from your life. Some may have been friends. Some may have been romantic partners. Some may even have been people you expected to stay forever. If this topic resonates with you, consider subscribing to the channel, because in this series, we explore the deeper psychology behind human behavior, relationships, and the hidden forces that shape our social lives. And understanding these patterns can often help us see our past experiences with greater clarity. Because sometimes, when people disappear, the story is more complex than we initially realize. One of the most common reasons people disappear from our lives is surprisingly simple. Life moves forward. Human lives rarely move in perfectly parallel directions. When two people meet, They may share similar circumstances at that moment in time. Perhaps they work in the same place, attend the same school, live in the same neighborhood, or share the same hobbies and interests. These shared environments create opportunities for connection, but as time passes, those environments often change. Careers evolve, cities change, relationships shift, responsibilities increase. Gradually, the routines that once kept two people connected begin to disappear. And when those routines vanish, maintaining the relationship requires conscious effort. Some relationships survive these changes, but many do not. Not because anyone did something wrong, but because proximity and shared experience play a powerful role in sustaining connection. Psychologists often describe this as the proximity effect. Humans naturally form stronger bonds with people they encounter frequently. When those encounters stop happening, the emotional bond may slowly weaken. Think about how many friendships begin during specific periods of life. School friendships, workplace friendships, friendships formed through shared activities. During that time, the relationship may feel incredibly strong. You talk every day. You share personal experiences. You support each other through challenges. It feels natural to assume that the connection will last forever. But when the environment changes, something unexpected happens. The daily interactions disappear. And without those interactions, maintaining the connection requires deliberate effort from both sides. If one person becomes busy with new responsibilities while the other moves in a different direction, the connection may slowly fade. Not because the relationship lacked value, but because life introduced new priorities. This is one of the most misunderstood aspects of human relationships. Many people assume that if a relationship fades, it must mean the connection was never genuine. But that is not always true. Some relationships are meaningful within a specific chapter of life. They serve an important role during that period. They provide companionship, support, and shared experience. But when that chapter ends, the relationship naturally loses its context. And without that context, the connection becomes harder to maintain. Understanding this can change the way we interpret disappearing relationships. Instead of viewing them as betrayals, we may begin to see them as transitions. People enter our lives during the periods when their presence aligns with our journey. And sometimes they leave when that alignment changes. This does not erase the value of what once existed. It simply reflects the evolving nature of human life. Before moving forward, ask yourself a simple question. How many people from your past once felt inseparable from you, and yet today, they are no longer part of your daily life? This experience is not unusual. In fact, it is a natural part of the human social cycle. But there are deeper psychological reasons why some people disappear completely rather than slowly drifting away. And those reasons reveal something important about how humans deal with emotional discomfort. Another powerful reason people disappear from our lives is something psychologists call avoidant behavior. Many individuals struggle with difficult conversations. Ending a relationship honestly can feel extremely uncomfortable. It may require explaining emotions that are difficult to express. It may involve hurting someone who cares deeply. It may even trigger guilt. Because of this discomfort, some people choose silence instead of honesty. Rather than explaining their feelings, they slowly reduce communication. Messages become less frequent. Plans are postponed. Conversations feel shorter. Eventually, the connection fades completely. From the outside, this behavior can appear confusing or even cruel. But from the perspective of the person withdrawing, it often feels like the easiest way to escape emotional tension. Avoidance allows them to leave without confronting the emotional consequences directly. However, this strategy has an unintended effect. The person left behind receives no clear explanation. Without closure, the mind searches endlessly for answers. And this search often leads to self-blame. People begin to wonder, was I too demanding? Did I say something wrong? Was I not good enough? But the truth is that avoidance often reveals more about the person leaving than the person left behind. It reveals their discomfort with confrontation, their fear of emotional conflict, their difficulty communicating difficult feelings. Understanding this can help reduce the weight of unanswered questions, because sometimes silence is not a judgment of your value. It is simply a reflection of someone else's emotional limitations. If you find these psychological insights helpful, consider supporting the channel by subscribing and sharing the video with someone who might also benefit from understanding these patterns. Because many people carry confusion about relationships that ended without explanation. And understanding the psychology behind these situations can often bring a sense of clarity. Over time, something interesting happens after people disappear from our lives. The confusion slowly begins to fade. At first, the absence feels painful. We focus on the loss. We remember the moments that once felt meaningful. But as time passes, perspective begins to change. We start noticing how our lives continue evolving. New experiences appear. New people enter our lives. New opportunities emerge. Gradually, the emotional space once occupied by that person begins to transform. Instead of focusing on why they left, we begin focusing on where we are going. And this shift reveals something important. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay forever. Some people arrive to teach lessons. Some arrive to share a specific period of your journey. Some arrive to help you grow in ways you may not fully understand at the time. And when their role in your story ends, they move on. At first, this may feel unfair, but with enough distance, it often becomes clear that life is constantly rearranging our social world. People who once felt central may fade into memory, and new individuals may become unexpectedly important. This process does not mean relationships are disposable. It simply reflects the evolving nature of human experience. The truth is that every person we encounter leaves some kind of influence behind, even those who disappear. They shape our understanding of trust, connection, and emotional boundaries. They teach us what we value in relationships. They reveal the kind of people we want to keep close in the future. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us that our lives are always moving forward. Sometimes the disappearance of one person creates the space for new connections that would never have appeared otherwise. So the next time you think about someone who quietly disappeared from your life, try looking at the experience from a different perspective. Instead of asking why they left, ask what their presence taught you. Because every relationship, whether it lasts for decades or only a few months, contributes something to the story of your life. And sometimes the most important chapter begins only after someone else has quietly turned the page. If you enjoy exploring the deeper psychology behind human relationships, consider subscribing to the channel. Each video uncovers another layer of human behavior and the hidden patterns that shape our social lives. Because beneath every interaction, every relationship, and every disappearance, there is always a deeper psychological story waiting to be understood.